Are you learning vocabulary for the GMAT test? Here are the 7,700 most essential English words you should learn first. Hi everyone. I'm Heslam from www.translateen.com. This GMAT vocabulary list has around 7,700 words and it shows definitions for each word. Building vocabulary is one of the hardest jobs to prepare for any English test. If you will take the GMAT test in months, but you didn't develop any GMAT vocabulary yet, the first is to get the proven vocabulary and work on it immediately. This 7,700 GMAT vocabulary list is an excellent candidate to own GMAT words quickly. So let's get started.
Place. Place. A point located with respect to surface features of a region. Family. Family. Primary social group, parents and children. Example. Example. An item of information that is typical of a class or group. Space. Space. The unlimited expanse in which everything is located. Accept. Accept. Receive willingly something given or offered. Western. Western. A film about life in the western United States during the period of exploration and development. Far. Far. At or to or from a great distance in space. Elements. Elements. Violent or severe weather. Potential. Potential. Existing in possibility. Industrial. Industrial. Of or relating to commercial enterprise. Sense. Sense. The faculty through which the external world is apprehended. According. According. In agreement with. Kind. Kind. Having a tender and considerate and helpful nature. Issue. Issue. Some situation or event that is thought about. Company. Company. An institution created to conduct business. Action. Action. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. Organization. Organization. A methodical and orderly manner or approach. Writer. Writer. A person who is able to write and has written something. Limit. Limit. As far as something can go. Highly. Highly. To a great degree or extent, favorably or with much respect. Heat. Heat. A form of energy transferred by a difference in temperature. Environment. Environment. The totality of surrounding conditions. Percent. Percent. A proportion in relation to a whole. Position. Position. The particular part of space occupied by something. Discuss. Discuss. To consider or examine in speech or writing. Male. Male. Being the sex that performs the fertilizing function. Using. Using. An act that exploits or victimizes someone. Attitude. Attitude. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings. Organism. Organism. A living thing that can act or function independently. Religious. Religious. Having or showing belief in and reverence for a deity. Necessary. Necessary. Absolutely essential. Free. Free. Able to act at will. Said. Said. Put into a certain place or abstract location. Principle. Principle. A basic generalization that is accepted as true. Service. Service. An act of help or assistance. Good. Good. Having desirable or positive qualities. Call. Call. Utter a sudden loud cry. Ancient. Ancient. Belonging to times long past. Employer. Employer. A person or firm that hires workers. Formed. Formed. Having or given a form or shape. Writing. Writing. Symbols imprinted on a surface to represent sounds or words. Whole. Whole. All of something including its component elements or parts. Rule. Rule. Prescribed guide for conduct or action. Military. Military. The armed forces of a nation. Always. Always. At all times, all the time and on every occasion. 20th. 20th. Position 20 in a countable series of things. A special. A special. Surpassing what is common or usual or expected. Education. Education. Activities that impart knowledge or skill. Discussion. Discussion. An extended communication dealing with a particular topic. Care. Care. Providing treatment for or attending to someone or something. Science. Science. Ability to produce solutions in some problem domain. Painting. Painting. Creating a picture with paints. Person. Person. A human being. Better. Better. Superior to another in excellence or quality or desirability. Colonial. Colonial. Relating to a body of people who settle far from home. Characteristic. Characteristic. Typical or distinctive. Mexican. Mexican. Of or relating to Mexico or its inhabitants. Light. Light. Electromagnetic radiation that can produce visual sensation. Firm. Firm. Not soft or yielding to pressure. Medieval. Medieval. Relating to or belonging to the Middle Ages. Country. Country. The territory occupied by a nation. Artistic. Artistic. Relating to the products of human creativity. Practice. Practice. A customary way of operation or behavior. Type. Type. A subdivision of a particular kind of thing. Serotonin. Serotonin. A neurotransmitter involved in e.g. sleep and depression and memory. Relate. Relate. Give an account of. Slave. Slave. A person who is owned by someone. Give. Give. Transfer possession of something concrete or abstract. Believe. Believe. Accept as true, take to be true. Future. Future. The time yet to come. Never. Never. Not ever, at no time in the past or future. Take. Take. Get into one's hands. Real. Real. Being or occurring in fact or actuality. Exist. Exist. Have a presence. End. End. Either extremity of something that has length. Artist. Artist. Person whose creative work shows sensitivity and imagination. Once. Once. On one occasion. Help. Help. Give assistance, be of service. Decision. Decision. A position or opinion reached after consideration. lack, lack. The state of needing something that is absent or unavailable. Numbers, numbers. An illegal daily lottery. European, European. Of or relating to or characteristic of Europe. Cost, cost. Be priced at. Composition, composition. The way in which someone or something is put together. Star, star. A celestial body of hot gases that radiates energy. Conclusion, conclusion. A position or opinion reached after consideration. Create, create. Bring into existence. Original, original. Preceding all others in time. Technological, technological. Of a practical subject organized by scientific principles. Other, other. Not the same one or ones already mentioned or implied. Region, region. The extended spatial location of something. Court, court. Seek someone's favor. Foreign, foreign. Not deriving from the essential nature of something. Business, business. The principal activity in one's life to earn money. Air, air. A mixture of gases required for breathing. Personal, personal. Concerning an individual or his or her private life. Tradition, tradition. A specific practice of long standing. Hand, hand. The prehensile extremity of the superior limb. Competition, competition. The act of contending with others for rewards or resources. Later, later. Happening at a time subsequent to a reference time. Enough, enough. Sufficient for the purpose. Strong, strong. Having strength or power greater than average or expected. Successful, successful. Having succeeded or being marked by a favorable outcome. Policy, policy. A plan of action adopted by an individual or social group. Record, record. Anything providing permanent evidence about past events. Interpretation, interpretation. The act of expressing something in an artistic performance. Demonstrate, demonstrate. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Course. Course. A connected series of events or actions or developments. Either. Either. Used as an intensive after a negative meaning likewise. Laboratory. Laboratory. A workplace for the conduct of scientific research. Held. Held. Occupied or in the control of, often used in combination. Almost. Almost. Slightly short of or not quite accomplished, all but. Pattern. Pattern. A perceptual structure. Resource. Resource. Aid or support that may be drawn upon when needed. Experiment. Experiment. The act of conducting a controlled test or investigation. Focus. Focus. Special emphasis attached to something. Financial. Financial. Involving fiscal matters. Already. Already. Prior to a specified or implied time. British. British. Of or relating to or characteristic of Great Britain or its people or culture. King. King. United States charismatic civil rights leader and Baptist minister who campaigned against the segregation of blacks, 1929 to 1968. Left. Left. Being or located on or directed toward the side of the body to the west when facing north. Make. Make. Perform or carry out. Living. Living. Pertaining to living persons. Findings. Findings. A collection of tools and other articles used by an artisan to make jewelry or clothing or shoes. Book. Book. An object consisting of a number of pages bound together. Solar. Solar. Relating to the sun or utilizing the energies of the sun. Student. Student. A learner who is enrolled in an educational institution. Internal. Internal. Located inward. Professional. Professional. Of or relating to or suitable as an occupation. Racial. Racial. Of or related to groups of people sharing distinctive traits. Widely. Widely. To or over a great extent or range, far. Short. Short. Having little length or lacking in length. Essential. Essential. Basic and fundamental. Democracy. Democracy. The orientation of those who favor government by the people. Debate. Debate. A discussion with reasons for and against some proposal. Compare. Compare. Examine and note the similarities or differences of. Observation. Observation. The act of taking a patient look. Woman. Woman. An adult female person, as opposed to a man. Nation. Nation. A politically organized body of people under a government. Majority. Majority. The main part. Observe. Observe. Watch attentively. No. No. Be cognizant or aware of a fact or a piece of information. Rock. Rock. Material consisting of the aggregate of minerals. Altered. Altered. Changed in form or character without becoming something else. Easily. Easily. With ease, easy is sometimes used informally for easily. Trade. Trade. The commercial exchange of goods and services. Situation. Situation. Physical position in relation to the surroundings. Nuclear. Nuclear. Constituting the core or central part. Characterize. Characterize. Describe or portray the qualities or peculiarities of. Concept. Concept. An abstract or general idea inferred from specific instances. Circumstances. Circumstances. One's overall condition in life. Cherokee. Cherokee. A member of an Iroquoian people formerly living in the Appalachian Mountains but now chiefly in Oklahoma. Price. Price. The amount of money needed to purchase something. Play. Play. Engage in recreational activities rather than work. Longer. Longer. For more time. Rapid. Rapid. Characterized by speed. Union. Union. The state of being joined or united or linked. Full. Full. Containing as much or as many as is possible or normal. Affected. Affected. Influenced. Decline. Decline. Grow worse. School. School. An educational institution. Reaction. Reaction. An idea evoked by some experience. Wealth. Wealth. Property that has economic value. Express. Express. Communicate beliefs or opinions. Emphasis. Emphasis. Intensity or forcefulness of expression. Direct. Direct. Proceeding without deviation, straight and short. Existence. Existence. The state or fact of being. Word. Word. A unit of language that native speakers can identify. Philosophy. Philosophy. The rational investigation of existence and knowledge. Previously. Previously. At an earlier time or formerly. Tendency. Tendency. An inclination to do something. Derived. Derived. Formed or developed from something else, not original. Home. Home. Where you live at a particular time. Positive. Positive. Characterized by or displaying affirmation or acceptance. Reduce. Reduce. Make smaller. Jazz. Jazz. Genre of American music that developed in the 20th century. Actual. Actual. Existing in act or fact. Ethical. Ethical. Conforming to accepted standards of social behavior. Due. Due. That which is deserved or owed. Normal. Normal. Being approximately average or within certain limits. Owner. Owner. A person who owns something. Turn. Turn. Move around an axis or a center. Urban. Urban. Located in or characteristic of a city or city life. Seem. Seem. Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect. Musical. Musical. Characterized by or capable of producing music. Origin. Origin. The source of something's existence or from which it derives. Train. Train. Educate for a future role or function. Molecular. Molecular. Relating to the simplest units of an element or compound. Together. Together. In contact with each other or in proximity. Include. Include. Have as a part, be made up out of. Belief. Belief. Any cognitive content held as true. Deep. Deep. Having great spatial extension downward or inward. Creative. Creative. Having the ability or power to invent or make something. Life. Life. The organic phenomenon that distinguishes living organisms. Photograph. Photograph. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print. Offer. Offer. Present for acceptance or rejection. Typical. Typical. Exhibiting the qualities that identify a group or kind. City. City. A large and densely populated urban area. Hot. Hot. Having a high or higher than desirable temperature. Away. Away. At a distance in space or time. Things. Things. Any movable possession, especially articles of clothing. Poor. Poor. Having little money or few possessions. Owned. Owned. Having an owner, often used in combination. Sector. Sector. A particular aspect of life or activity. Sex. Sex. One of two categories into which most organisms are divided. Visual. Visual. Relating to or using sight. Risk. Risk. A source of danger. Simple. Simple. Having few parts, not complex or complicated or involved. Evolution. Evolution. Sequence of events involved in the development of a species. Age. Age. How long something has existed. Despite. Despite. Contemptuous disregard. Employee. Employee. A worker who is hired to perform a job. Folklore. Folklore. The unwritten stories and proverbs and songs of a culture. Likely. Likely. Having a good chance of being the case or of coming about. Treatment. Treatment. Care provided to improve a situation. Serious. Serious. Of great consequence. Death. Death. The permanent end of all life functions in an organism. Consumer. Consumer. A person who uses goods or services. Apply. Apply. Employ for a particular purpose. Detail. Detail. A small part considered separately from the whole. Close. Close. At or within a short distance in space or time. Choose. Choose. Pick out from a number of alternatives. Climatic. Climatic. Of or relating to weather in some location over time. Around. Around. In the area or vicinity. Description. Description. A statement that represents something in words. Object. Object. A tangible and visible entity. Relation. Relation. The state or quality of having something in common. Technical. Technical. Of or relating to aptitude in a practical skill. Previous. Previous. Just preceding something else in time or order. Conflict. Conflict. An open clash between two opposing groups. Eventually. Eventually. After an unspecified period of time or a long delay. Fully. Fully. To the greatest degree or extent, completely or entirely. Indian. Indian. Of or relating to or characteristic of India or the East Indies or their peoples or languages or cultures. Europe. Europe. The second smallest continent. Bring. Bring. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Wave. Wave. Physics, a movement up and down or back and forth. mRNA. mRNA. The template for protein synthesis. Open. Open. Affording free passage or access. Sometimes. Sometimes. On certain occasions or in certain cases but not always. Understand. Understand. Know and comprehend the nature or meaning of. See. See. Perceive by sight or have the power to perceive by sight. Recognize. Recognize. Perceive to be the same. Cloud. Cloud. A visible mass of water or ice particles suspended at a considerable altitude. Capital. Capital. A large alphabetic character used in writing or printing. Governmental. Governmental. Relating to affairs or structure of politics or the state. Britain. Britain. A monarchy in northwestern Europe occupying most of the British Isles, divided into England and Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland. Great Britain is often used loosely to refer to the United Kingdom. Played. Played. Of games, engaged in. Require. Require. Have need of. Reality. Reality. The state of being actual. Korean. Korean. Of or relating to or characteristic of Korea or its people or language. Money. Money. The most common medium of exchange. Negative. Negative. Having the quality of something harmful or unpleasant. Manager. Manager. Someone who controls resources and expenditures. Advantage. Advantage. The quality of having a superior or more favorable position. Citizen. Citizen. A native or naturalized member of a state. Eggs. Eggs. Oval reproductive body of a fowl used as food. Distinction. Distinction. A discrimination between things as different. Effective. Effective. Producing or capable of producing an intended result. Child. Child. A human offspring, son or daughter, of any age. Down. Down. Spatially or metaphorically from a higher to a lower level. Respect. Respect. Regard highly, think much of. Wind. Wind. Air moving from high pressure to low pressure. Receive. Receive. Get something, come into possession of. Theoretical. Theoretical. Concerned with hypotheses and not practical considerations. Marine. Marine. Of or relating to the sea. Non. Non. Negation of a word or group of words. Special. Special. Adapted to or reserved for a particular purpose. Benefit. Benefit. Something that aids or promotes well-being. Design. Design. The act of working out the form of something. Done. Done. Having finished or arrived at completion. Experimental. Experimental. Of the nature of or undergoing a trial. Along. Along. In line with a length or direction. Interest. Interest. A sense of concern with and curiosity about something. Cycle. Cycle. A periodically repeated sequence of events. Judge. Judge. An official authorized to decide questions before a court. Publish. Publish. Prepare and issue for public distribution or sale. Protection. Protection. The activity of shielding someone or something. Show. Show. Make visible or noticeable. Put. Put. Cause to be in a certain state. Solution. Solution. A homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Rat. Rat. Any of various long-tailed rodents similar to but larger than a mouse. Focused. Focused. Brought into sharp clarity. Clear. Clear. Readily apparent to the mind. Constant. Constant. Uninterrupted in time and indefinitely long continuing. Song. Song. A short musical composition with words. Paid. Paid. Marked by the reception of pay. Particularly. Particularly. To a distinctly greater extent or degree than is common. Worth. Worth. The quality that renders something desirable or valuable. Target. Target. A reference point to shoot at. Tribal. Tribal. Relating to or characteristic of a clan or social group. Changed. Changed. Made or become different in nature or form. Assertion. Assertion. A declaration that is made emphatically. Back. Back. The posterior part of a human, or animal, body. James. James. Disciple of Jesus. Job. Job. A specific piece of work required to be done as a duty. Extremely. Extremely. To the greatest possible degree. Entire. Entire. Constituting the full quantity or extent, complete. 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 Having all necessary qualities. Crime. Crime. An act punishable by law, usually considered an evil act. Direction. Direction. A line leading to a place or point. Story. Story. A record or narrative description of past events. Standard. Standard. A basis for comparison. Necessarily. Necessarily. In such a manner as could not be otherwise. Southern. Southern. Situated in or oriented toward the south. O. O. The 15th letter of the Roman alphabet. Management. Management. The act of controlling something. Associate. Associate. Keep company with. Byron. Byron. English Romantic poet notorious for his rebellious and unconventional lifestyle, 1788 to 1824. Million. Million. The number that is represented as a 1 followed by 6 zeros. Sufficient. Sufficient. Of a quantity that can fulfill a need or requirement. West. West. The cardinal compass point that is a 270 degrees. Reflect. Reflect. Give evidence of. Rely. Rely. Have confidence or faith in. Studied. Studied. Produced or marked by conscious design or premeditation. Older. Older. Advanced in years, aged is pronounced as 2 syllables. Series. Series. Similar things placed in order or one after another. Advance. Advance. Bring forward for consideration or acceptance. Emotional. Emotional. Of or pertaining to feelings. Folk. Folk. People in general, often used in the plural. Identity. Identity. The characteristics by which a thing or person is known. Drug. Drug. A substance that is used as a medicine or narcotic. Discovery. Discovery. The act of finding something. Decrease. Decrease. A change downward. Basic. Basic. Reduced to the simplest and most significant form possible. Revolutionary. Revolutionary. Markedly new or introducing radical change. Opportunity. Opportunity. A possibility from a favorable combination of circumstances. Oral. Oral. Using speech rather than writing. Waters. Waters. The serous fluid in which the embryo is suspended inside the amnion. Patient. Patient. Enduring trying circumstances with even temper. Picture. Picture. A visual representation produced on a surface. Receptor. Receptor. A cellular structure that is postulated to exist in order to mediate between a chemical agent that acts on nervous tissue and the physiological response. Near. Near. Near in time or place or relationship. Stage. Stage. Any distinct time period in a sequence of events. Manufacture. Manufacture. Put together out of artificial or natural components. X. X. The 24th letter of the Roman alphabet. Decade. Decade. A period of 10 years. Differ. Differ. Be dissimilar or unlike. Closely. Closely. In a close relation or position in time or space. Eyes. Eyes. Opinion or judgment. Institutional. Institutional. Relating to an organization founded for a specific purpose. Bird. Bird. Warm-blooded egg-laying vertebrate with feathers and wings. Continue. Continue. Keep or maintain in unaltered condition. Growing. Growing. Relating to or suitable for growth. Face. Face. The front of the human head from the forehead to the chin. Opinion. Opinion. A personal belief or judgment. Share. Share. Assets belonging to an individual person or group. Measure. Measure. Determine the dimensions of something or somebody. Locate. Locate. Determine the place of by searching or examining. Scholarly. Scholarly. Characteristic of a learned person. Marriage. Marriage. The state of being a couple voluntarily joined for life. Leader. Leader. A person who rules or guides or inspires others. Lawyer. Lawyer. A professional person authorized for legal practice. Red. Red. The chromatic color resembling the hue of blood. Reach. Reach. Move forward or upward in order to touch. Able. Able. Having the necessary means or skill to do something. Changing. Changing. Marked by continuous modification or effective action. Allow. Allow. Make it possible for something to happen. Absence. Absence. The state of being not present. Agricultural. Agricultural. Relating to or used in or promoting farming. Element. Element. A substance that cannot be separated into simpler substances. Taking. Taking. The act of someone who picks up or takes something. Oppose. Oppose. Be against. Seal. Seal. Fastener consisting of a resin that is plastic when warm. Words. Words. Language that is spoken or written. Parent. Parent. A father or mother. Rarely. Rarely. Not often. Upper. Upper. Higher in place or position. Rembrandt. Rembrandt. Influential Dutch artist, 1606 to 1669. Truth. Truth. A factual statement. Quickly. Quickly. With little or no delay. Volume. Volume. A relative amount. London. London. The capital and largest city of England. Standing. Standing. Social or financial or professional status or reputation. France. France. A republic in Western Europe. Equipment. Equipment. An instrumentality needed for an undertaking. Details. Details. True confidential information. Acid. Acid. Any of various water-soluble compounds having a sour taste. Establishment. Establishment. The act of forming something. Sun. Sun. The star that is the source of light and heat for the planets in the solar system. Dramatic. Dramatic. Characteristic of a stage performance. Perspective. Perspective. A way of regarding situations or topics. Overall. Overall. Involving only main features. Oil. Oil. A slippery or viscous liquid or liquefiable substance not miscible with water. Textbook. Textbook. A book prepared for use in schools or colleges. Notion. Notion. A vague idea in which some confidence is placed. Reader. Reader. A person who can read, a literate person. Socioeconomic. Socioeconomic. Involving social as well as economic factors. Producer. Producer. Someone who manufactures something. Hospital. Hospital. A medical institution where sick or injured people are given medical or surgical care. Exclusively. Exclusively. Without any others being included or involved. Beginning. Beginning. The act of starting something. Davis. Davis. American statesman. Gold. Gold. A soft yellow malleable ductile metallic element. Biologist. Biologist. A scientist who studies living organisms. Constitution. Constitution. The act of forming or establishing something. Democratic. Democratic. Based upon the principles of social equality. Date. Date. The specified day of the month. Interested. Interested. Showing curiosity or fascination or concern. Additional. Additional. Further or extra. Construction. Construction. The act of building something. Consistent. Consistent. In agreement or reliable. Selection. Selection. The act of choosing. President. President. The person who holds the office of head of state of the United States government. Moving. Moving. In motion. 4. 4. The cardinal number that is the sum of 3 and 1. Reading. Reading. Written material intended to be read. Supply. Supply. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Judicial. Judicial. Expressing careful judgment. Johnson. Johnson. 36th President of the United States. Strongly. Strongly. With power. Occupation. Occupation. The principal activity in one's life to earn money. Nerve. Nerve. A bundle of fibers running to organs and tissues of the body. Creation. Creation. The act of starting something for the first time. Fall. Fall. Descend freely under the influence of gravity. Avoid. Avoid. Stay away from. Final. Final. An examination administered at the end of an academic term. Expected. Expected. Considered likely or probable to happen or arrive. Identify. Identify. Recognize as being. Audience. Audience. A gathering of spectators or listeners at a performance. Immigrant. Immigrant. A person who comes to a country in order to settle there. Above. Above. In or to a place that is higher. Feminism. Feminism. A doctrine that advocates equal rights for women. Atmospheric. Atmospheric. Relating to or located in the mass of air surrounding Earth. Poet. Poet. A writer of verse. Structural. Structural. Relating to the composition of something. Young. Young. Any immature animal. Signal. Signal. Any action or gesture that encodes a message. Responsibility. Responsibility. The social force that binds you to a course of action. Saint. Saint. A person who has died and has been canonized. Proust. Proust. French novelist, 1871 to 1922. Strength. Strength. The property of being physically or mentally powerful. Surround. Surround. Extend on all sides of simultaneously, encircle. Organized. Organized. Methodical and efficient in arrangement or function. Nearly. Nearly. Slightly short of or not quite accomplished, all but. Northern. Northern. Situated in or oriented toward the north. Improve. Improve. To make better. Architecture. Architecture. The discipline dealing with the design of fine buildings. Hence. Hence. From that fact or reason or as a result. Deposit. Deposit. The act of putting something somewhere. Formal. Formal. In accord with established conventions and requirements. Image. Image. A visual representation produced on a surface. Ignore. Ignore. Refuse to acknowledge. Trial. Trial. The act of testing something. Tryptophan. Tryptophan. An amino acid that occurs in proteins. Summarize. Summarize. Present the main points in a concise form. Lay. Lay. Put into a certain place or abstract location. Limitation. Limitation. An act of restricting, as by regulation. Photographer. Photographer. Someone who takes photographs professionally. Percentage. Percentage. A proportion in relation to a whole. Expansion. Expansion. The act of increasing in size or volume or quantity or scope. Depend. Depend. Be contingent upon. Definition. Definition. A concise explanation of the meaning of a word or phrase. Innovation. Innovation. The act of starting something for the first time. Demand. Demand. Request urgently and forcefully. Career. Career. The particular occupation for which you are trained. Insurance. Insurance. Protection against future loss. French. French. Of or pertaining to France or the people of France. Gray. Gray. Of an achromatic color intermediate between white and black. Copper. Copper. A ductile malleable reddish-brown corrosion-resistant diamagnetic metallic element, occurs in various minerals but is the only metal that occurs abundantly in large masses, used as an electrical and thermal conductor. Peptide. Peptide. Amide combining the amino group of one amino acid with the carboxyl group of another, usually obtained by partial hydrolysis of protein. Ray. Ray. A group of nearly parallel lines of electromagnetic radiation. Stream. Stream. A natural body of water flowing on or under the earth. Painter. Painter. An artist who paints. Skill. Skill. An ability that has been acquired by training. Railroad. Railroad. A line of track providing a runway for wheels. Widespread. Widespread. Distributed over a considerable extent. Scholarship. Scholarship. Profound learned knowledge. Organ. Organ. A structure in an animal specialized for some function. Move. Move. Change location. Background. Background. The part of a scene behind objects in the front. Feature. Feature. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. Corporate. Corporate. Of or belonging to a business firm. Controversial. Controversial. Marked by or capable of arousing disagreement. Difficulty. Difficulty. An effort that is inconvenient. Hold. Hold. Support in a certain manner. Ago. Ago. Gone by, or in the past. Film. Film. A series of moving pictures that tells a story. Billion. Billion. 1,000 million items or units in the United States. Enter. Enter. To come or go into. Continental. Continental. Of or relating to or characteristic of a continent. Feelings. Feelings. Emotional or moral sensitivity. Exception. Exception. An instance that does not conform to a rule. He. He. The fifth letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Detailed. Detailed. Developed with careful treatment of particulars. Chinese. Chinese. Of or pertaining to China or its peoples or cultures. Mid. Mid. Used in combination to denote the middle. Sell. Sell. Exchange or deliver for money or its equivalent. Isolated. Isolated. Remote and separate physically or socially. Race. Race. A contest of speed. Valuable. Valuable. Having worth or merit. Temporary. Temporary. Not permanent, not lasting. Memory. Memory. The cognitive process whereby past experience is remembered. Work. Work. Activity directed toward making or doing something. Participation. Participation. The act of sharing in the activities of a group. separate, separate. Standing apart, not attached to or supported by anything. Cross, cross. A marking that consists of lines that intersect each other. Half, half. One of two equal parts of a divisible whole. Contribution, contribution. A voluntary gift made to some worthwhile cause. Ideal, ideal. A principle or value that one hopes to attain or conform to. Ever, ever. At all times, all the time and on every occasion. Glucose, glucose. A monosaccharide sugar that has several forms. Greek, Greek. Of or relating to or characteristic of Greece or the Greeks or the Greek language. Exposed, exposed. With no protection or shield. Geologic, geologic. Of or relating to or based on geology. Earnings, earnings. Something that remunerates. Impressionist, impressionist. Relating to or characteristic of Impressionism. Impulse, impulse. An impelling force or strength. Introduction, introduction. The act of beginning something new. Reform, reform. Make changes for improvement to remove abuse and injustices. Prove, prove. Establish the validity of something. Piano, piano. A keyboard instrument that is played by depressing keys that cause hammers to strike tuned strings and produce sounds. Quite, quite. To the greatest extent, completely. Represent, represent. Be a delegate or spokesperson for. Reject, reject. Refuse to accept or acknowledge. Watteau, Watteau. French painter, 1684 to 1721. Participant, participant. Someone who takes part in an activity. Neither, neither. Not either, not one or the other. Unit, unit. A single undivided whole.
Thank you for watching. Here are a couple of videos that I suggest you watch next. Before you move on to next video, if you find this video helpful, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Just click the link in the description below and enable all notifications. You'll be notified whenever I upload my next video. Thank you so much. See you soon.